How do you find the titles for your artworks and how important are they in the interaction with your photographs?
Quite random, and also it's responding to my feeling at the moment when the work is done. That's why it's kind of linked to the work itself, but for example, if there's one Miss Me at the Party image, which is really, I wanted to go somewhere, I couldn't go, and that was the condition by the moment that I finished the work. So I titled this with the Miss Me at the Party. In another hand, I have Gold of Light, which is also, I have like, when I find beautiful title, I want to have it in every of my shows. So it comes from the earlier shows when I had this exhibition titled Carpet Sunrise. I wanted to mix this Georgian story, which is really related to carpets, and flying carpets as well, and the athletes when they are in the weightlessness. So it was Carpet Sunrise. So it triggered kind of my, it's a play of the words. So in the Gold of Light, it's also, sometimes you see something and you don't realize that it's a gold, and to find the gold, and also gold means many things. It's not only the gold of light, it's maybe something that you need to find.
Why did you choose the title of the exhibition, Allow? What inspires you?
Also came from the, when I was working on the show, it came out that Björk did a new album, and there was one song which was called Allow. I liked it, text, but also it's been a mixture of, here what we see today, it's a mixture of photographs of my recent years, and also it's kind of allowing myself to introducing to the world of mine, which is created by imagination, and the artist distribution here is that I'm using photography as an artist as a proof of reality and as a tool of creating my own world. So it comes from this phrase, let me allow to introduce you. So it's
growing up in a world of competition and sport events, and your father traveling a lot, how does it shape you as a person?
Yeah, but the best part of it was the summer time when father was taking his students outside the country where they can train in current places at the seaside or at the mountain, and sometimes because it was summer in Georgia, it's summer, it's really hot, it goes up to 40 degrees. Sometimes they're taking their Turngeräte outside, and I had this privilege as a coach son to have access to the trampoline, for example, anytime during the night as well and during the day, and I can jump on it, and that's the first time when I made this connection with the bodies on the earth and celestial bodies in the sky, like moon and sun. And for the first time I realized that something, some connection can be, and this became now this one of the main, even also for this show, as you can see, there's this moon always in the image, and it's tried to share some energies and finding connection between these two.
Tell me the story about the moon pictures, because I really like them.
That moon picture, it was one of the first moon images, because I always felt that I want to take picture of the moon, but I didn't want it really look like astrological or the images that you can see on the moon on the web. So it was summer, and I wake up really early at 4:30 or something, and just went out to walk by the sea, and I saw this big moon was there, and happily I had the camera. I went back home, took a camera, and that's the first image that came out that it's the moon, but at the same time it can be viewed as an Earth from the cosmos or something like this. So it's...
And is it also a connection to your father? Because your father told you when you jump on the trampoline you're nearer to the moon, or is it just...
Yeah, that's the made-up story, but I liked it,
Okay.
so we decided to keep it because it's really like funny.
Trampoline, skating, bouldering, anything you still do on your own?
I never did it professionally, but there was the moment when especially when I was working at this movie, When the Earth Seems to Be Light. During this period, I often left my camera home and was going out with skaters just to try some tricks, and many of the skaters start to take pictures, so it was really exchange kind of thing, but never that it was part of my life. It was during this period when I got interested, and also I got interested in skaters because they have this kind of same acrobatic elements that I used to shoot in gymnasts, but also it's about this show as well. It's the world outside and world inside. So it's like when you're shooting in the closed sport hall, it's the one thing, but when you go outside and shoot skaters in the city, it's these two different things.
Okay, great. What interests you, or what is it that interests you about the body in motion?
I have always this phrase in my mind that man was built to move, and also it's I'm really easily get bored if I don't move, or if I stand still, something around me has to be moving, and I found the best place I can really concentrate at work, it's the trains when you are moving, but you can do your own thinking as well. So I like to think, and that's the best time I can do this. So.
Have you ever felt the magical state of suspension yourself?
Yes, I told you, and it started from this, when you first can feel this, you can't, it's like a great poet wants to ever go back to their childhood memories, and it's built there, maybe their poetry is built around it. For me, it's also kind of, it's not that I'm freezing a moment, or this moment has something beginning or the end. It's just this moment when it repeats entirely, so you get this glimpse of being in weightlessness, and so it's the way to be closer to eternity. So this is the...
Looking at your photographs releases a wave of happiness. How long does it take you to catch the right moment?
It's a process. I never look for the catching right moment. So I have this setup. For example, I like location, I like people in it, and then I'm just shooting, and sometimes even if I have an idea how it should look like at the end, when I get only this result, I'm not happy. I'm happy only if I get something more. Even, for example, in this image of this orange, it's actually black and white, but when I was scanning it, it was by mistake. I did this color scanning, and it came out as a surprise. So every time I'm doing the shoot, it's like a making wish, and to come something out of not ordinary.
Could you explain your artistic practice, just in brief?
So it's, I can tell that it's based on the cropping method maybe. So when I have this image and I start to crop and go I think as I crop and I think as I work. So sometimes if I see there's something in the image, but it doesn't look that much, I try to, if we are talking about this, how I do it technically, so there's has to be something in the image, and this kind of, I can't really explain, I like it or I don't like it, and then I start to work on it. So.